Premier League Player of the Month, Goal of the Month, December 2024, Alexander Isak.
Mm-hmm.
You got to admit, the guy's on fire right now. And whenever a player hits this kind of form, I don't know about you, but it always makes me curious about how they got there. The journey behind those amazing plays.
Yeah, totally agree. I think it's super interesting to sort of peel back the layers and see what went into a performance like that. What were those early experiences, those skills, those moments that built up to what we see now?
Exactly. So for this deep dive, we're going deep on Alexander Isak, the Newcastle United forward. We want to really understand where he comes from and how his game, how his abilities developed over time, like right from the very beginning.
And we've got a lot to work with today. We've got articles from Newcastle United's website, Wikipedia, some really cool analysis from sites like This is Anfield and Breaking the Lines, and of course our own research too.
Awesome. So our mission today is to figure out, how did a young player from Sweden with, roots going back to Eritrea end up becoming a key player in, well, probably the toughest league in the world? We'll be looking closely at those early years, where he played, and of course, how his skills developed along the way. Okay, let's get started. Solana, Stockholm, September 21st, 1999.
That's where it all began, yeah. That's Alexander Isak's birthplace. And it's worth noting, his parents are from Eritrea. They fled Eritrea in 1980, so even though he grew up in Sweden and plays for Sweden internationally, that background, that heritage, it's definitely part of his story.
Absolutely. And his football story begins when he's 6 years old, joining his local club, AIK Football.
Mm-hmm.
And from what we've read, this wasn't just any local club. It was his boyhood club and a major team in the area. That kind of early connection, that sense of community, I think it's so crucial for a young player, especially when they're starting out and just falling in love with the game.
Oh, for sure. Those early years at a club like AIK, they wouldn't just be teaching him the basic skills. It's about understanding the game, the discipline, building that passion for playing. And for a big club like AIK, I imagine the standards, even at that young age, were already pretty high.
Yeah, absolutely. Fast forward about 10 years, and Isak makes his first team debut for AIK. He's just 16 years old, February 28th, 2016. A Swedish Cup match, and get this, he scores a goal. What a way to announce yourself, right?
Yeah, talk about making an impact. To have that kind of confidence at 16, that's special. But what really impressed me, reading about that moment, was the composure he showed. To walk into a first-team match at that age and not just play, but to score. It says a lot about his talent, sure, but also his mental strength. Not every young player can handle that pressure.
Yeah, for sure. And he didn't stop there. Just over a month later, on April 7th, 2016, he scores again, this time against Östersunds FK. That goal.
Yeah.
It made him the youngest scorer in AIK's Allsvenskan history. 16 years and 189 days old.
That kind of record, it really makes you sit up and take notice. It tells you that this isn't just any talented young player. This is someone special. To break a record like that, it means you're not just ahead of your peers physically or even technically. But I think it shows a real maturity, a deep understanding of the game that's way beyond his years.
Absolutely. Then, a few weeks later, he scores his first goal at AIK's home ground against IFL Sport. It's almost like he was checking off these milestones one after another. And it all led up to his first professional contract with AIK in May 2016. Wow, what a couple months that must have been. Exhilarating.
Yeah.
But maybe a little overwhelming, too.
Oh, definitely. I mean, think about it. He goes from being a youth prospect to a first-team regular with a pro contract, and all in just a few months, AIK. They knew they had something special on their hands and acted fast.
Yeah, totally. And it wasn't just individual goals. On his 17th birthday, September 21st, 2016, he scores. Get this, 2 goals. In AIK's derby win against their rivals, Djurgårdens IF. That's got to be a birthday to remember.
Talk about a way to celebrate. Those derby matches, they're so intense, so full of passion. For a young player to not only play in one, but to score twice, and on his birthday. It's the stuff of legends. It shows he can handle pressure and deliver when it matters most.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was right around this time that one of his teammates at AIK, Chinito Obasi, he got a pretty famous comparison. He called Isak Sweden's new Zlatan Ibrahimovic. I mean, wow, that's high praise.
It really is. And I think it gives you a little insight into how people were seeing his playing style back then, the height, the technical skills, and maybe even a bit of that Ibrahimovic confidence on the pitch. But it's also a lot of pressure for a young player to carry.
No kidding. He finishes that incredible year by winning the Allsvenskan Newcomer of the Year award. And he's named Allsvenskan Player of the Month for September. It's clear he was making a big impact. And as we saw in our sources, AIK, being a big club in the area, meant his success was really felt throughout the community. I bet. For AIK and their fans, to see a homegrown player not just make the first team, but to dominate the league and then win these awards, it's a huge source of pride. It's a reminder of how important youth development is, especially for big clubs.
Okay, so he's taken the Swedish league by storm. He's a teenager. He's winning awards. What's next?
Well, a move to one of the biggest leagues in Europe, of course. On January 23rd, 2017, he signs with Borussia Dortmund in the Bundesliga. Talk about a step up in competition.
Oh, yeah. The Bundesliga. It's known for fast, attacking football. It's intense, a lot of pressure. And Dortmund, they have a fantastic reputation for developing young players. They give them chances, real opportunities.
The transfer fee was reported to be 9 million euros. At the time, that was the most anyone had ever paid for a player from the Allsvenskan. It tells you how much Dortmund believed in him. And get this, he apparently turned down a move to Real Madrid before signing with Dortmund.
Wow. To say no to Real Madrid, that's a big decision for any player, let alone a young one. It suggests he and his team had a very specific plan for his development. Maybe they felt Dortmund would give him more playing time, a better environment to really grow as a player.
Makes sense. So he makes his debut for Dortmund in a cup match, a win against Sportfreunde Lotte in March 2017. And he actually wins a trophy with them that season, the DFB Pokal. He only played in one match early in the tournament.
Yeah.
And wasn't in the final. But still,
Yeah.
a trophy is a trophy.
Yeah, it's a taste of success at a really high level. Even if he didn't play a huge part in that cup run, being part of a winning team, being in that environment, it's an important experience.
Definitely. Later that year, he scores his first competitive goal for Dortmund in a DFB Pokal match against 1FC Magdeburg. So he was scoring, but it sounds like he wasn't getting as much playing time as he maybe hoped for.
That's pretty common, to be honest. When young players join these huge clubs, the competition is fierce. Breaking into the first team, it can take time, a lot of patience. He also played for Dortmund's second team in the Regional Liga West, which is, a way to keep getting playing time, stay sharp.
Right. And sometimes to really kickstart a career, you need a change, even if it's just temporary. And that's exactly what happened in January 2019. Isak went on loan to Willem II, a club in the Dutch Eredivisie. And looking back, this move, a lot of people see it as a turning point for him.
Oh, absolutely. The Willem II loan, it gave him exactly what he needed, consistent playing time in a good league. It was a chance for him to show off his skills, but maybe even more importantly, to get his confidence back after, not playing as much at Dortmund.
Yeah, and show off his skills he did. 13 goals and 16 Eredivisie appearances. That's impressive. It's like something just clicked for him in the Netherlands. He found that scoring touch again, the one we saw back at AIK.
It's amazing how a change of scenery, a new team, a new style of play, it can really make a difference. Sometimes it's just about finding the right fit. The Eredivisie, it's a tough league, but it can also be a great place for attacking players to flourish. I think it gave him a chance to believe in himself again.
And he wasn't just scoring goals. He helped Willem II get to the final of the KNVB Cup, their first final since 2005. He scored the equalizing goal in the semifinal against AZ Alkmaar, and then scored the winning penalty. Talk about clutch.
It's those moments that really define a player, that kind of pressure to step up and deliver when everything's on the line. It's incredible.
He also did something pretty amazing in the Eredivisie, something no one had ever done before. He became the first player to score 3 penalties in a single match against Fortuna Sittard. Another unique record for him.
3 penalties in one game. I mean, I don't talk about confidence. And he was the first foreign-born player in the Eredivisie to score 12 goals in his first 12 league games. He was on fire. It was no surprise when he won Eredivisie Talent of the Month for March 2019.
Yeah, it's well-deserved recognition. So after this amazing loan spell, it was pretty clear that Isak was ready for a big move, a permanent move to a top league. In June 2019, he signs a 5-year contract with Real Sociedad in La Liga.
La Liga, another one of the best leagues in the world, known for its technical skill, its tactics, and some really exciting attacking football. Real Sociedad. They have a history of playing this beautiful, possession-based style, and they've got a good track record of developing young attacking players. It seemed like a great fit for him.
And he does what he does best, makes an immediate impact. He scores in his very first match for Real Sociedad. Then he goes on to score 7 goals in the Copa del Rey, helping Real Sociedad win their first major trophy since, wait for it, 1987.
That's huge, to play a part in ending a trophy drought like that. I mean, it makes you an instant hero. And to score 7 goals in a major cup competition, it shows he can deliver in those big knockout matches.
He even scored 2 goals and got an assist in a Copa del Rey quarterfinal match against Real Madrid. And then he scores the winning goal in the Basque Derby against Athletic Bilbao. It's like he's always at his best in the biggest, most emotional games.
Those are the moments that fans remember. Scoring against a giant like Real Madrid, winning a derby match, it's special.
And, of course, he wins a trophy with Real Sociedad. They beat Athletic Bilbao in the 2020 Copa del Rey final. And he was the top scorer in that competition. He was really becoming a key player for them.
Definitely. It seems like Real Sociedad, they gave him the chance to play regularly in a system that suited him. He was gaining confidence, taking on more responsibility, and yeah, he was becoming a complete striker.
In February 2021, he scores his first hat-trick for the club against Deportivo Alaves. And with that, he becomes the first Swedish player to score a hat-trick in La Liga since 1949. Just another incredible stat. And that year, he's named Swedish Forward of the Year.
That hat-trick, it really showed how much his goal-scoring ability had grown. And the Swedish Forward of the Year award, it's well-deserved recognition for how consistently he was playing at a high level, both for Real Sociedad and for the Swedish national team.
By the time he moved to Newcastle United, he had played over 100 matches for Real Sociedad. 105 to be exact. And had scored 33 goals. Not bad for a young player in a really competitive league. So we've seen his journey from those early days at AIK through his time in Germany and the Netherlands. And that his success in Spain, he's been all over.
It's been a fascinating journey, and you can see how all those experiences, even the tough times at Dortmund, helped him grow as a player. But that loan spell at Willem II, I think that was a huge moment for him.
I think so, too. It gave him the chance to play week in, week out, and his confidence just soared, and that carried over to Real Sociedad.
All right, let's talk about his playing style. We've mentioned those early comparisons to Ibrahimovic because of his size and technique, but how has his style evolved over the years? How would you describe him as a player now? You know, those early comparisons, they made sense at the time. They both have that physical presence, that touch of brilliance. But Isak has become his own kind of player. He's what I'd call a true modern striker.
Okay, what does that mean? What makes him a true modern striker?
It's about having a lot of different tools in your toolbox, you know. Isak, he has the height to be a threat in the air, but he's also fast. And he's got amazing skills on the ball. He can dribble, he can pass, he can find space. He's a real handful for defenders because you never know what he's going to do next.
So not just your typical target man, then?
Nope, not at all. He's smart. He moves well without the ball. He knows how to find those little pockets of space between defenders. He makes those perfectly timed runs in behind the defense. And that makes him so hard to defend against.
And he can play in different roles, right? He's not just a lone striker up top.
Exactly. We've seen him play as a lone striker, but also out wide on the left, and even as part of a two-man attack. That kind of versatility, it shows you how well-rounded he is. He can hold the ball up, he can drop deep to link up play, or he can make those runs in behind the defense. He gives his team so many options.
And when he gets a chance, can he finish?
Oh, he's a clinical finisher, for sure. He can score with both feet, which is so important for a striker. Defenders can't just try to force him onto his weaker side. And he's not just a goal scorer. He's a good passer. He links up well with his teammates. He's got a real understanding of the game. And he works hard when his team doesn't have a ball.
Wow, it sounds like he's got it all. Speed, skill, intelligence.
Yeah, he's the total package. He's not a one-dimensional player. He combines those physical gifts with technical skill, tactical awareness, and a real work ethic. That's what makes him such a dangerous striker in today's game.
It's really amazing to see how his style has developed over time. From those glimpses of brilliance at AIK to all those different experiences in Germany, the Netherlands, Spain. Each step has added something new to his game.
Yeah, and I think you can see the influence of those different leagues in his playing style today. The technical side of Spanish football, the directness and physicality of the Bundesliga, even that confidence-building spell in the Netherlands.
Okay, so that brings us to Newcastle United, to the Premier League. We've seen how his background, his experiences, they all led to this moment. And now, well, he's playing some of the best football of his career.
He's playing at an incredibly high level.
Yeah.
And it's a testament to all those experiences he's had, all the hard work he's put in.
As we wrap up this deep dive into Alexander Isak's journey, what stands out to you the most?
For me, it's his resilience. He had some setbacks early in his career. He didn't always get the playing time he wanted, but he never gave up. He went out on loan, he proved himself, and then he came back stronger. It shows you sometimes all it takes is finding the right environment, the right team to really unlock your potential.
And for you, listening, What part of his story resonates with you? Is it that amazing breakthrough at AIK, or maybe how he bounced back from those challenges at Dortmund, or how he found success in different leagues, in different styles of play, which ultimately led him to the Premier League? It really makes you think about all the different paths there are to reaching the top.
Absolutely. There's no one right way to do it. And Isak's story, it's a reminder that sometimes the journey is just as important as the destination.
Well said. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into the career of Alexander Isak. We hope you enjoyed it. And who knows what fascinating football story we'll explore next time here on The Deep Dive.